Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Darren Holmes from Kaizen Mindset UK at the Wirral Wellness Centre. Kaizen Mindset UK is a men's physical, mental health and wellness platform for over 30s. We utilise physical education, the routes to wellness, the dimensions of wellness, skills, drills, modalities and strategies of PTSD counselling, neuro-linguistic programming, cognitive behavioural therapy, mindful practices, nervous system regulation. I want to talk this morning for about the next 10 minutes about a thing called the circle of control versus the circle of concern. This is the graphic directly behind my head here. There are so many people at the moment who seem to be overwhelmed, and through the month of September there were so many changes that took place. So to list a few, we had a change of government, we had a change of Prime Minister, where some people would be pleased that Boris Johnson has gone and some people will be pleased that we have a new Prime Minister in place. We also have a new Chancellor. That was something that we had no control over whatsoever. It happened whether we liked it or not. We lost our Queen, God rest her soul. Queen passed away. We had 10 days of mourning, which was all over the news, it was all over the newspapers, it was all over the internet, it was all over the radio stations, it was all over the social media channels, and you couldn't help but absorb that. The fuel prices are starting to come down, fuel for your vehicles. I think diesel's down to about 175 now, which is still 75 pence a litre more than we really should be paying. The electric and gas prices are still rising. Although there have been some government initiatives put in place. What else? Food prices are rising, wages are not rising, but the price of inflation is rising, and then the interest rate has risen by 7 points in the last couple of months as well, which has been incredibly impactful to me personally and to lots and lots of people within inside my own network as well. However, the point I want to make is this. All of those things that I've just mentioned there, the Prime Minister, the Queen, the fuel price rises, petrol price rises, rate of inflation, interest rate rises, we have absolutely no control over any of that. No control at all. The human body absorbs something like 11 billion pieces of information every single day. And we do this through a thing called sensory acuity. So everything that we can see, hear, taste, feel, and touch. We are absorbing and absorbing and absorbing. Now I want you to imagine for a second that you have a metaphorical backpack on your back, okay? You've got this backpack on, and every single time some form of stress comes in your direction, you're picking it up, you're putting it in your backpack, 11 billion times a day, okay? How heavy is that backpack gonna start feeling? The whole idea of the circle of concern versus the circle of control is this. If we have no control over it, then we shouldn't allow it to be overly concerning to us, okay? Yes, you're gonna have to make changes within your own lifestyle. You're going to have to take action to cancel your Sky TV subscription, to sell something valuable, to maybe create some cash flow, to not go out at the weekends, to limit your driving around in your vehicles, and anything else that you have to do to basically make ends meet and survive. Now, the beauty of the circle of control versus the circle of concern is this. Do this exercise, please. I promise you, your subconscious, our subconscious brain holds on to so much information that we can't do anything about in this metaphorically heavy backpack, that we can get rid of it just by doing the following exercise. 2 pieces of paper. On the left-hand piece of paper, sit down in a room on your own, no disturbance, no noise, and write down everything you can possibly think of that is putting you into this place here, which is called the stress head, okay? Doesn't matter who it's about, doesn't matter what it's about, you're never gonna show it to another person. Just write as much information on that piece of paper as you possibly can. Give yourself 30 seconds, make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something like that. Go back to that piece of paper with either a highlighter or a red pen and start to cross out everything that you can't deal with. Okay, this is the difference between being reactive or proactive. Okay, we can be reactive all day if we're allowing these 11 billion pieces of information to overwhelm us, or we can be very, very proactive in going, okay, that's an annoyance, but I can't do anything about it, so I'm not going to carry the burden. I'm going to let that go and I'm going to crack on with my day, doing things proactively that I can have an influence over. Okay, back to the page. Cross out everything that you have no control over whatsoever. The war in Ukraine, cross it out. We have no control over that whatsoever. So cross it out, okay? This is going to leave you with a piece of paper and a list of articles that are crossed out and that are not crossed out. Now, the things that are not crossed out are the things that you have direct influence over. So family issues, health issues, friends, family, work, okay? If there's things going on in work that you can influence, then influence them from the better. Influence, gonna get me words out. I would love everybody to share this, please. Share this video to everybody that you can think of who is stressed out and overwhelmed at the moment, because taking it out of here and putting it down on a piece of paper is half the battle. So back to the piece of paper. Everything on page 1 that you haven't crossed out, I want you to now transfer that from page 1 here, all your concerns, onto page 2 over here, which is a proactive list of everything that you have influence over. Put them on that list. Label them from 1 through to however many issues that you have, 1 through to 10, let's say. Number 1 being the most important thing that you're going to deal with today. Don't overwhelm yourself and try and get all 10 cracked in one day. Just go, today I'm going to ring British Gas and I'm going to tell them that I can't afford to pay my fuel bill. Please advise me, what can I do to reduce my fuel costs? And take it from there. Day 2, number 2. Day 3, number 3. If you've got 10 things on that list, in 10 days' time, you'll have no problems whatsoever. This metaphorical backpack, you can take it off, throw it to the side, and you should feel really light, okay? Circle of control, the things we can control versus the things we can't control. If you do this every single week, it will be very, very rare that you find yourself in an overwhelmed place, okay? Stress compounded becomes distress. Distress compounded becomes mental ill health and also a dysregulated nervous system, okay? Let's take back control, guys. That is Darren Holmes from Kaizen Mindset at the Wirral Wellness Centre. Have a fantastic day.